Hey everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and there's a new solutions provider to solve the friction that exists in cross-border remittances. And I want to tell you about that. It was something that I found when I was reading the payments.com media site. They have a monthly online magazine. It's a monthly called the Smarter Payments Tracker. I like it. And I was reading the July edition, and there's some very good progress being made by Ripple's on-demand liquidity user Neum. They are penetrating that SME market, these small to medium-sized enterprises, with their client who is also a RippleNet user called BTEC in Brazil. And then there was an update on Currency Cloud. They're a new RippleNet member. They're also grabbing some market share. They're doing it with TransSwap. They're aiming to add 10,000 small businesses to their platform for cross-border payments before the end of the year. That's a lot of small businesses. But it was on page 17 that I read about this new blockchain-based payments platform for cross-border payments. Now, I did see something tweeted out by King Solomon just about a day or two ago on this company, but I hadn't had time to research it. So I have done that, and I'll share it with you. It says in this article that the new system weakens Ripple's hold on the payments market. And I think that you'll want to stick around if you're an XRP holder, because we want to see really what this company is up to. The company's name is Apifiny, and the group was formed by executives of the NASDAQ, Morgan Stanley, Visa, E-Trade, and they unveiled this new project earlier this year on March 31st. They're based in San Francisco, and who you're looking at here is the chairman of the company. This is David Wield IV. He's a stock market expert, investment banker, and he's also the former vice chairman of NASDAQ. For the boots on the ground, that is being led by Josh Lee. He's a former Google employee. He was with Google and Google X for 12 years. He's also a Harvard grad. And they are providing this launch of liquidity in the way of a platform that's a single platform with one API. It's made to give those institutional investors and the cryptocurrency exchanges access to a shared pool of traders. So they're not competing against those investors or the exchanges, but they are providing a solution by giving them a deeper order book. Because right now, crypto exchanges, they are all fragmented around the world. And they believe, and it makes sense to me, that they are going to give those users of trying to find the best trades out there one place to go with one API, linking all those isolated crypto offerings together on one platform. So these exchanges and investors have right now, they have to set up multiple accounts globally with all those separate APIs. So you can see how this is really, I think, a solution that is going to be well received. When you go to their website, they're not a competition, but a solutions provider, and they do it through this high-speed trading with a global virtual order book. All right, this is their CEO, and I really like this interview. I'm going to put a link to it also in the description below, because if you want to know more, you're going to get a lot of information in this particular article. So the platform centers around what's called a GBBO, a global best bid and offer. So let me have you listen to just a little bit over a minute of what that GBBO is from different, looks like different users. And I think you'll have a better understanding. Have a listen.
What separates GBBO from all competition is that it provides access to the deepest global liquidity pools. It scans for the best global prices. There's instantaneous cross-currency conversion and one true single account to manage all your trading needs.
Two things are holding back the digital assets from realizing their full potential. One is the lack of regulation, and second is the lack of custody. Currently, GBBO aggregates the liquidity from dozens of exchanges globally in a legally compliant way, and it provides a trustless custody to its customers so they can trade with us with a single account. Our customers do not need to open an account at or even know about any of those exchanges.
Liquidity is fragmented globally, but also regionally. This is true for any asset class, whether you're talking about cryptos, whether you're talking about equities, or any other kind of tokenized asset. Using smart router technology, what GBBO does is create one single marketplace where you can get best execution, but also have the flexibility to be able to be quoted in any currency whatsoever.
GBBO, what does that mean? It means the global best bid and offer. A platform where you can see the depth of market, the transparency that you need as an investor, and the best bid and offer, always presented to you on our platform.
This power is only available at exchanges powered by GBBO.
All right. And on Tuesday, the 7th of June, they launched their Roxy. This is an instant global settlement network using their technology to solve cross-border settlement by connecting the world's banks. And they are doing it with this tagline, one world, one market. And I have read dozens of articles today. And it basically is a payments clearing and settlement network for both fiat and digital assets using blockchain. So if we look at some comparisons, this is an article by the Finance Magnets. So they write that unlike other blockchains like Ripple that uses digital tokens, Roxy follows a different approach for settlement. The company explained that it uses a new concept of smart proof of ownership settlement nodes and maintains custody of assets on behalf of the network members and instantly settle transactions between network nodes by accounting for inter-exchange transactions and providing instant proof of ownership, smart OP. They are mapping fiat and digital currencies into a unified asset network. So who is the target customer? They are banks, central banks, payment platforms, businesses, and traders. And from the Business Wire, we understand that there are more than 200 countries and fiat currencies, tens of thousands of stocks, tens of thousands of banks, hundreds of traditional asset exchanges, hundreds of public blockchains, thousands of digital tokens, and tens of thousands of digital asset exchanges operating in a highly inefficient patchwork of systems. And Roxy aims to solve this value transfer problem by more efficiently connecting the world's banks, scattered assets, markets, and systems around the world to free asset transfer from the friction built into the financial institution's accounting system. And Roxy is currently designed to support US dollar and several major digital currencies with a goal of supporting all G20 fiat currencies and all the top 50 digital currencies. So from the Roxy blog, when they compare to Ripple, they say when comparing Roxy to Ripple, important points of differentiation emerge. The first is that while Ripple is primarily used by banks, Roxy is designed to be used by banks, exchanges, payment companies, and trading institutions. Another major difference is that Ripple transfers value via the XRP cryptocurrency, whereas Roxy transfers value for fiat currencies and cryptocurrencies through the use of fungible currency that is anchored or pegged one-to-one to the transaction's underlying asset. These attributes broaden the use case for Roxy, which can accommodate the transfer of value for more asset types. The result is fungible currencies that can be redeemed on any network exchange without any impact from price fluctuations. So they brought on Arthur Weisberg to spearhead their sales. He's got the Europe, Middle East, Africa, UK, and Israel for territory. That's a lot. He's going to be based in London, but he brings his experience from BlackRock, Barclays, and also the Huobi exchange. He was at the Huobi OTC desk. He's fluent in Russian as well as his native English. On July 8th, he participated in a digital summit, the Digital Summit 2020, on day 3. But I need a Russian speaker in the XRP community to help us with this translation, because that entire session is in Russian. This is Arthur on the top left. So to summarize today, well, we need to see who is or will be joining their network. And we also need to see if a shared system of books and records on a permissioned blockchain network will be embraced, because it's a little different. They have activated some supernodes, 2 of them already. One is through Mercury FinTech Holding, and the other is Apifiny Asia for their computational power. I'm going to be paying attention to this project. I'm going to bring you any developments I find, and I just hope that we all stay up on what is happening in the space, because that is really, really important. All right, I am jumping to the fluff. Yes, we're going to talk about Shinrin Yoku. And this is, well, it is what's called the art of forest bathing. Yeah, it's actually promoted by the Japanese government. The word itself was coined by the Ministry of Agriculture, Forest, and Fisheries about 30 years ago. But simply put, it is to spend a few hours in nature, and that is believed to be a part of your preventative health regime. And Tokyo has no less than 6 untouched forests in the city. And I think it's a great place to escape from the hustle and the bustle. There is one that's next to the German embassy, which is a real favorite for people to visit in the fall, because the color is just really beautiful. This is Ari Sugawa no Miya, and it also has this beautiful bridge that is used for a lot of photos, especially for young brides and grooms who dress up in their finest kimono and hakama, and then have their picture taken as they stand on top of the bridge. I think if you go on a weekend, you're going to see lots of those photos being taken. But there's another one that I don't know if I don't think it's the largest, but it's a big one. This is a park, or it's actually a nature reserve that is operated by the National Museum of Nature and Science. And it is one that's been dedicated for, gosh, nearly 100 years to preserve the natural flora of Tokyo. It does cost a little bit to get in, like $3, but it's a fantastic place to take some time out. And it's just a 5-minute walk from the Meguro station. That is on the inner circle line called the Yamanote line. It's in the heart of the city in the southwest area, and it is just it's fabulous to go visit. And this is what it looks like today, because it's very lush and very green. We're in the middle of the rainy season, so things are super, super green right now. And also on Twitter, I saw that there are a lot of wild orchids in full bloom, and lots of butterflies, and lots of butterflies. Now, if you are lucky, you're going to see some of the critters in there. Well, there's lots of critters and beetles and birds. Yeah, they have beautiful white egrets that call this place home. But what you're looking at here is a Japanese raccoon. it's called a tanuki, and it has some significant Japanese folklore attached to it since ancient times. It's considered a master of disguise, and it also is something that people will kid about, that it has shape-shifting capabilities, and that's the ability to transform itself physically. But really, I think that when you come here, you're going to be hard pressed to see one because they're nocturnal, so they're quite rare to see. You might think it looks like a badger, but the closest relative is the fox, and it is now considered a symbol of prosperity and good luck. So you see a lot of restaurants and cafes use it as a motif. And no doubt when you come here, you're going to see this little guy somewhere, whether it's a restaurant or a coffee shop, greeting you at the door, because this is very, very common. When I first came, I had no idea what I was looking at, but it's just a symbol now to make you feel welcome, and it's just quite common. So now you know, when you do see it, you won't be so like, what the heck is that? All right, everybody. Yes, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.